When Eckhart Tolle came to Chicago shortly after the publication of his book, The Power of Now, I was invited to see him in person at the Congress Theater. It was very exciting. A huge crowd of people filed into the auditorium, and the air was filled with anticipation. And then Mr. Tolle came on stage, took a seat in the center of the stage, and proceeded to do nothing. He just sat there silently. He did so for about 20 minutes. I was on the edge of my seat. Conceptually, it was like going to a modern art exhibit to watch paint dry. I'm kind of a contrarian, so as soon as I sense others not liking something, I immediately go into overdrive and give something merit. If we're seeing our lives similar to the experience of watching paint dry right now, well, maybe it's time to consider being a contrarian. Welcome. Welcome to Illinois Bridging Awareness. I'm Stanley Smith at Illinois Bridging Awareness. We're navigating the landscape of knowledge, beliefs, and values. It's tricky terrain because there's only so much we can know, and then we kind of fill in the gaps with a bunch of beliefs, misnomers, and tropisms. When our experience and what we see with our own eyes is in opposition to this construct, we're offended, and often we get angry. It's all about triggers and creating a boogeyman, so to speak. And that gives us an opportunity then to just pull the covers over our head and hide. Jason, Freddy, and Pennywise, the clown character from popular scary films, often ironically, those characters feed on our fears and grow more and more powerful. They actually feed on our fear. We all have triggers and we all know what we know. And for everything else, well, we just fill in the blanks. And more often we fill in those blanks with misleading information that really takes us off the track. And it influences the way we think and how we form our opinions. No one can control what an individual thinks, but we can be influenced for good or for bad. And wherever there's lack of knowledge, well, we put in a belief. And wherever our beliefs are shaken by our personal experience and observation, it can trigger us into the fight, flight, and shut down response. And when we lack empathy and compassion, well, then we get offended and become angry. Sometimes we can be offended and angry even with ourselves. Last week on the call, we listened to Eckhart Tolle, and he mentioned the concept of background unhappiness. There's a lot going on there with our ego selves. And just like the scary movie characters, it eats up a lot of energy, but it also can energize. In business, there's the idea of management. Management is often looked upon as, needed to be there to fix things or solve problems. But the reality of that is it's not so much the true essence of management. The essence of management is to manage, to hear the issue, be aware of the issue, and then manage the issue in the most productive way. None of us has to disavow ourselves of anything we are or be less than who we are or be anything different. We just need to manage it to the best possible effect. Last week, we talked about the idea of checking the boxes in our life plan. And that idea was from a video that I was going to share, but didn't because it's kind of an uneven and rough presentation, but brought it back up to the forefront because it seemed like a relevant topic based on where our conversation was going. In the video, the woman, she shares her near-death experience about getting to heaven and being presented with a list of check boxes of her life plan. And what she realizes that she didn't really check many of the boxes. She didn't seem to have many of the boxes checked, and she kind of wondered, well, why is that? What got in the way of completing our life plan? Personally, I didn't really even know I had a plan or supposed to have a plan, but if I was going to have a plan, I was going to get around to checking some of the boxes after I finished taking care of probably everyone else's needs and solving all my own problems. During the pandemic, it occurred to me that maybe I need to learn how to enjoy life, even when there's a lot of crap going on. Alistair Cook said that true crime is the true crime is missing out on all that life has to offer whenever we're distracted by whatever the current world crisis seems to be. I was struck by that because I believe Mr. Alistair Cook probably lived through probably a couple of world wars and definitely a depression. The joys of life he alluded to were being in nature, bouncing a baby, being in relationship, and experiencing love. What is it in our time that's getting in our way of checking all the boxes in our life plan? We hear a lot about Ukraine, racism, white supremacy, transgender, and global warming. It's all crashing down upon us. We naturally balk at this because it's at odds with what we intuitively know life is all about. It's more than just the latest crisis in our face. We all have different boxes to check in our life plan. Growth might occur when we change or rearrange some of those boxes. We can't live someone else's boxes. I went to a Wednesday concert this week here in downtown Chicago, broadcast live on the WFMT radio from the 17th Church of Christ Scientists. The theme of the orchestra singers was human to human. That seems to hang pretty well with what I know about Christian Science, which is very little. Human to human, person to person, and healing, and the connection that is needed to make that happen. We all need healing in today's world, and safe to say that's probably part of everyone's life plan. We don't all need to agree or even like each other, but we can help each other check all the boxes just by being there. It's an opportunity and an invitation. If you would like to join us at Illinois Bridging Awareness, the Saturday call is every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video, and I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.